Hey everybody, it's Taylor here. Just wanted to do a quick overview of AnyMeeting. This is the web conferencing app that I'm going to be using. So we'll just kind of go through, take a look at all the different features, show you a few of the files that I have to upload, and just kind of generally discuss AnyMeeting. So I'll just go ahead and start one here. Okay, now the nice thing, I mean, this is a free app and you can definitely upgrade to the Pro. I mean, obviously that involves uh, paying for that, but the free app works really well. You can invite, obviously, as you see, up to 200 people here, and there's a whole bunch of different features, so we'll get going into that. I'll call this 3.2, okay? So as you'll see here, as we get going, AnyMeeting has a lot of similar features to Adobe Connect, not necessarily, not as clean, and there's ads and things like that, but there's a lot of different components that you can use to kind of customize whatever sort of web app or web posting you're trying to do, or web conferencing, pardon me. So you have all the different discussion modes, etc. You can go through here and have it like a full class discussion. Everybody's microphones are unmuted. You can do Q&A where everybody can kind of unmute themselves if they were to have a question, but otherwise the microphones are muted. And then we have the listen only mode. And then if someone wanted to ask a question, we could go up here. And the nice thing about this is, I'll find it here in a second. We have the moods right there. So it's kind of like in Adobe Connect where you can raise your hand, you know, emoticons, things like that to let the presenter know if you have a question, if you understand what they're talking about, things like that. You have the webcam you can access here. I'll just go ahead and click that. You can see me here, just hanging out in the hotel room. You can also share your desktop in the Pro version. Otherwise, right now I'm using Screencast-O-Matic to do this. Well, actually, you can share your desktop in the free version, but pardon me. You can go ahead and do that. The actual recording of the webinar itself is yep, it's required that you pay to do that. So we'll go ahead and get out of here and stop screen sharing. Turn the webcam off. And then we have a bunch of different features as well. So you can share your slides, and I'm just going to show you a few of the documents that I've uploaded to this. We have outline notes. I have a welcome slide for when everybody comes in. I thought it was pretty good, so I'll go ahead and show it to you. So there's the welcome slide, and just trying to lighten the mood, get everybody excited, happy, and ready to learn. And we'll go into the next one here. It's really easy. I mean, everything, you can preload everything, all your different documents to AnyMeeting before you go ahead and do the presentation. So it's really convenient. So I'm going to go ahead and start with the outline. This is for the students as well as myself. I can kind of use it as a script, but I have a general idea of what I want to talk about for this this presentation. But we go through here, and it allows the students to have a detailed outline of what's on the PowerPoint, so that I didn't have to load it up with content, more so that I could just talk about it, so that they have that resource there. Go to the next one, and it just kind of is a script for how this webinar is going to go for each of them. Okay, so we'll go ahead and do one more. I'll go ahead and pull up the PowerPoint. I also pulled it up as saved it as a PDF, so that if someone had an issue with PowerPoint, that they could also access it through PDF. Okay, so here's the presentation, functional solar anatomy. I'll get into this in separate presentations, but just kind of go through the slides here. It's pretty easy to do. You can obviously full screen that, and that's a nice component. We'll go ahead and do that. Get in there and see that, and just kind of run through. See all the different slides here. Once we get further down the road, I'll actually start discussing those as well. So that'll be up the majority of the time. And And I'll just bring up the PDF just to show that it's there. Now with Pro, you can you can optimize this and customize it, different backgrounds to make it look cooler. There's also ads in the free version, but really they don't pop up or anything. They're just kind of present. So it's nothing that is really that inconvenient whatsoever. So here's this again, same thing really. So we'll just kind of mix it out here. There's a chat app over here, the chat bar. So you can have it set to for everyone to chat. You can have it so that they send their messages to me as the presenter. It's really kind of nice. There's a lot of different components you can add to that. So I'll just go ahead and chat as if there was somebody here. And you see that? There's my name. And you can also do private chats, so different individuals can chat amongst themselves. Different customizable things. And so let's go up here. Actually, one really nice component of this that I thought was really cool is that sometimes when you're doing these things, depending on your connection, the microphone quality can kind of come and go, and so it actually allows you to connect with the phone. So I click on audio options here. You can use a microphone. You can come over here and use a telephone and call the number and come in that way. So say somebody wasn't present to visually see the webinar, but they wanted to take a listen and chime in, then they would have that option as well. Or if they didn't have access to a microphone, then again they could go ahead and do that as well. So pretty neat component. I thought that was actually a really nice one that I hadn't seen before. So we'll go through here. I'll bring up the whiteboard. So you can call it a whiteboard. I think this is about as similar as the whiteboard in Adobe Connect. You can have public notes. So I would have, for a breakout session, I would have preloaded on here groups, for a breakout session. Group 1 with X students, group 2, etc. So you can go ahead and do that. I can also have notes that I can look at as well. So everybody would be then looking at whatever's on the screen, more than likely the PowerPoint presentation itself, but then I have notes to refer to. So that's a really nice component, and that's all just visible by me. And a really nice thing about this whiteboard is that anything that we put on here throughout the session is then cataloged and emailed to anyone who is present at the time, so that they can have those notes to refer back to. So I thought that was a really cool component as well. So I'm going to go ahead and utilize the web app component, and it's kind of embedded. So rather than me having to go over here, now I could come over here and let's say YouTube. Go shoulder anatomy videos. And we'll go with an animated tutorial. So that's an option as well. It's actually a really cool video. If you're interested in similar things, then you can definitely check that out. But for the time being, I'm going to go ahead and bring up the YouTube video. Sometimes this causes a little bit of a snag from time to time, but I'm going to go ahead and bring this up. And this is for a section of my PowerPoint for ranges of motion of the shoulder. It's kind of a lengthy topic because the shoulder has so much range of motion, so I wanted to go ahead and give them an interactive form to see the values of range of motion and just kind of see how the body functions in the different planes of motion. So I thought that was a cool component as well. Now we could use this during a breakout session. I had a few ideas about having different groups. Everybody would be here, but different groups would then upload this URL. They could go online and do that and watch that while I'm discussing with group 1 kind of things that they found to be interesting, and then just kind of keep that process flowing. Group 2 would then come in. I would talk to them. We would discuss, different topics, any questions that they had, anything that they might want to help each other with, ask questions about. That would kind of be our breakout session, and then they would go back, and Group 3 would come in. So that was my idea at the time. That's what I wanted to do. And the last thing I'm going to go ahead and do is find the poll. There we go, run an audience poll. So I've preloaded a couple already, so there's different options. The results can be seen as totals, percentages. There's not necessarily a value on here for right or wrong answers, but it allows me to have enough feedback so I can see what the class answers in this poll, and then we can say, okay, this is the right answer. So maybe some of you aren't getting it yet, so we can kind of revisit that subject and go from there. So I'll go ahead and click this, and we'll just start voting. It's got to load. Okay, so what muscles comprise the rotator cuff, blah, blah, blah. And in this poll, this is the correct answer. So here we go, submit vote. That's what I see, 100%. Yay, I got the answer right. And we would do the same for the class. So that's what I got for this section. AnyMeeting is actually really easy to use, and it has a lot of cool customizable features. Very user-friendly. It's really a web conferencing app that you can kind of just go in and click around and figure out how things work. There's not a whole lot of tutorial necessary to do so. So that's all I got for you guys. Thanks.